Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will teach you going places in an easy and simple way. So let's get started. The chapter Going Places is all about a girl named Sophie. Sophie was a daydreamer and the name of Sophie's friend was Jansie. Jansie was a realistic girl. Jansie tried to make Sophie understand to accept the realities of her life, that she belonged to a lower middle class family, but Sophie never accepted that. Let's see what happened in the story, then I will discuss later on. The, the story begins with a scene of Sophie and her friend Jansie talking to each other while returning from school. Sophie is telling Jansie about her plans to open a boutique after she completes her schooling. She wants to become a famous fashion designer like Marie Quant. Jansie, who is more practical, is aware that they are supposed to join the biscuit factory after their studies. She reminds Sophie that a boutique would require a lot of money. She also explains to Sophie that the latter's plan to save money by working at a shop is not feasible as it does not pay well, and Sophie's dad wants his daughter to work in a shop. Sophie considers being an actress also. It pays more money. From in this paragraph, it is clearly understood how unrealistic girl she was. She did not want to accept her family conditions. Her dreams were all unrealistic, that would not be easily fulfilled. Jansi, her friend, understood it well, and she tried to make Sophie understand to accept the realities of her life, but Sophie did not want to accept it. Everyone in the family seems to know about Sophie's temperament. Back at home, her younger brother Derek mocks her unrealistic dreams of earning big money. So Derek was Derek? Derek was her younger brother. Her younger brother named Derek. The story talks about her looking at her mother's crooked back, indicating a glimpse of the compassion and pain felt by Sophie at her family's poverty struck conditions. How was her family? Family poverty struck. Her brother Geoff is an apprentice mechanic. Who was Geoff? Geoff was an apprentice mechanic and travels to the far side of the city every day for his work. He does not speak much and she feels jealous of his silence. She suspects Geoff to be well informed about places she does not know about. Sophie reveals to Geoff that she met Danny Casey in the arcade. Danny Casey was a great footballer of the time and Geoff was a great fan of Danny Casey. Since Geoff does not believe her, she uses an animated description of Danny to make her encounter sound realistic. Sophie Sophie made an imaginary story about Danny Casey. Sophie made a story about Danny Casey. Sophie told Geoff that she met Danny Casey in arcade to get Geoff's attention. Geoff did not want to share anything about his life, and Sophie was much interested to know about his life. So, to get her brother's attention, she had narrated an imaginary story regarding the meeting between Danny Casey and Sophie. Geoff passes on this news about delicacy to his father at the dinner table. Their father looks at Sophie disdainfully with a lot of hatred. He knows Sophie he knows Sophie is just up to one of her tricks of making up stories. There is no way. What is the meaning of this line? It means her father knew well about the nature of Sophie. Her father knew well that Sophie was not a practical girl. She often narrated such kind of stories to get everyone's attention. There is no way she would meet a famous football player like Danny Casey. Her father and Geoff start talking about football. Sophie interjects the conversation, saying Danny told her he would buy a shop. Her father warns her that she might get into serious trouble if she continues telling people false stories. Next, Sophie makes her brother promise not to tell anyone that Danny Casey has asked to meet her. Her brother finds it unbelievable. To make it more realistic, Sophie narrates how she met Danny and asked him for his autograph for Derek, but neither of them had a pen and paper. So, Danny asked Sophie if she would like to meet him the following week for the autograph. Geoff does not believe that the football player would show up. Sophie goes with her father and her brothers to watch a football match that Danny is playing. Danny's team wins and Sophie feels proud. She meets Jansie the following week and is surprised to hear Jansie ask her about the meeting with Danny. Geoff had told this news to Jansie's brother, Frank. The name of Jansie's brother is Frank. Sophie did not expect her brother to spill out her secrets like this. As she talks to Jansie about this secret meeting, Sophie learns that Geoff had not told Frank about the second meeting that was going to take place between Sophie and Danny. Sophie goes to meet Danny at a spot by the canal. She used to play there during her childhood. She considers it a perfect place to meet someone without drawing attention. While she waits for Danny, she imagines how the meeting will be. Danny would appear from the shadows and her reaction would be that of excitement. After a while, she realizes that Danny will not come. Sophie goes into a state of worry and despair. She would not be able to prove to Geoff or the others that she is telling the truth about Danny. As she walks back home, Sophie imagines how Geoff would be disappointed to know that Danny had not come. She is glad to see her father cycle outside the pub. She would not have to face her father. On the way, she imagines Danny outside the Roas. She visualizes herself talking to Danny and asking for his autograph. Sophie imagines Danny to be of the same height as hers. She gives vivid descriptions of Danny's appearance according to her fantasies. Sophie pictures him acting coy means shy, and awkward with genuine innocence. She sees the prodigy again the following Saturday, displaying his excellent sportsmanship at the game. Conclusion of Going Places. This chapter is a prelude to the state of mind during adolescence. A.R. Burton's adolescent character Sophie is highly optimistic and daydreams to the point that she lives in a world that is make-believe. The beginning of the chapter shows Sophie's desire to open a boutique after school. Jansie, her friend, tries to explain the reality of their economic situation. Belonging to a lower middle class family, they would face financial constraints if they thought of pursuing a business like owning a boutique. Sophie's unreasonable expectations manifest into a tragic state when she realizes that her idol, Denicasi, who had plans to meet her, is only a daydream. Frequently asked questions on CBSE Class 12 Going Places. What is the theme of the chapter Going Places? The theme of Going Places centers around the phenomena of daydreaming and pursuing unrealistic dreams during adolescence. Most of these fantasies turn out to be impractical and beyond belief, which causes sadness and despair in the adolescent's life. Question number 2. Why does Jansie discourage Sophie from having dreams? Jansie knew the social and economic status of her and Sophie's families. She knew that Sophie would need a lot of money to open a boutique of her own, and Sophie's plans to acquire money were not realistically feasible either. The consequences of dwelling on these ideas and dreams could disappoint Sophie later in life. That is why Jansie discouraged Sophie from having dreams. Question number 3. Did Sophie really meet Danny Casey? Sophie's meeting with Danny Casey was just a fantasy that had no truth to it. Sophie had a vivid imagination that allowed her to generate detailed imagery and conversations about their meetings. And when she finally went to meet Danny, she realized that the meeting was not happening and she had always been daydreaming about it. Thank you for watching my videos. If you are new in my channel, please subscribe and wait for the new videos. Thank you.